Matthew Macfadyen recalls his struggles filming the iconic Pride and Prejudice scene and reflects on the film's legacy. Matthew Macfadyen, best known for his role as the brooding and complex Mr. Darcy in the 2005 adaptation of Pride and Prejudice, recently opened up about a surprising challenge he faced while filming one of the movie's most iconic scenes. The British actor, who has since gained massive recognition for his award-winning performance as Tom Wambsgans in HBO's hit series Succession, reflected on the experience during a conversation with Letterboxd at the South by Southwest red carpet event for Holland, where he stars alongside Deadpool and Wolverine actor Hugh Jackman. Macfadyen's revelation centered around the now famous long walk scene in Pride and Prejudice, where his character, Mr. Darcy, approaches Elizabeth Bennet, played by Keira Knightley, across a foggy field at dawn. The moment has become one of the most beloved and romantic sequences in period drama history, cementing the film's status as a classic. However, Macfadyen admitted that behind the romantic allure of the scene lay a practical struggle that he faced while filming. He simply couldn't see clearly. A difficult sight problem on set. I was a long way from the camera and it's a very long lens. I'm short-sighted so I couldn't see the director, Macfadyen shared with a laugh. He was waving a red dressing gown or something like a red carpet. They were so far away, the crew, so that's all I was thinking about. Despite the misty, dreamlike atmosphere of the scene, which has been endlessly dissected and admired by fans and film critics alike, Macfadyen confessed that he was more focused on trying to figure out where he was supposed to walk than embodying the emotional weight of the moment. All I could see was this blur of red fabric waving in the distance, and I remember thinking, I hope I'm going in the right direction. But you have to keep going and stay in character because that's part of the job, he added. Macfadyen's revelation adds a humorous and human touch to what is otherwise seen as one of the most polished and emotionally charged moments in cinematic history. The lasting power of Pride and Prejudice. The 2005 adaptation of Pride and Prejudice, directed by Joe Wright, was an immediate critical and commercial success. The film was praised for its fresh take on Jane Austen's classic novel and for the palpable chemistry between Macfadyen and Knightley. Knightley's portrayal of Elizabeth Bennet earned her an Academy Award nomination for Best Actress, further cementing the film's place in pop culture history. The film also starred an ensemble of talented actors, including Rosamund Pike as Jane Bennet, Jenna Malone as Lydia Bennet, Carey Mulligan as Kitty Bennet, Tallulah Riley as Mary Bennet, Brenda Blethyn as Mrs. Bennet, Donald Sutherland as Mr. Bennet, Rupert Friend as George Wickham, and Dame Judi Dench as the formidable Lady Catherine de Bourgh. Reflecting on the enduring success of the film as it approaches its 20th anniversary, Macfadyen admitted that he is pleasantly surprised by the film's lasting impact. Pride and Prejudice has had legs, hasn't it? He said. I don't know how things are going to continue and whether they'll last or whether people will keep watching them, but it seems like people are still watching it. Macfadyen acknowledged that the film's appeal lies not only in the timeless nature of Austen's story but also in the way Wright's direction brought new life to the characters and settings. The film's cinematography, shot in the rolling countryside of Derbyshire, and Dario Marianelli's evocative score have both contributed to its enduring romantic allure. I think there's something magical about the combination of the landscape, the music, and the story itself, Macfadyen said. It just resonates with people and that's why they keep coming back to it. A defining role for Macfadyen. Playing Mr. Darcy was a career-defining moment for Macfadyen, who was still establishing himself in the film industry at the time. His portrayal of the famously reserved yet passionate character earned him widespread praise for capturing Darcy's emotional depth and vulnerability. It was daunting because Colin Firth's portrayal of Darcy in the 1995 BBC adaptation was so beloved, Macfadyen admitted. There was a sense that you couldn't possibly top that. But Joe, Wright, wanted to do something different, something more intimate, and that gave me the freedom to make Darcy my own. Macfadyen's approach to the character emphasized Darcy's inner conflict, his struggle between pride and vulnerability, which made his eventual declaration of love to Elizabeth all the more powerful. The key for me was understanding that Darcy isn't cold, he's just incredibly awkward and shy, Macfadyen explained. Once you understand that, his behavior makes sense. He's not dismissive or rude, he just doesn't know how to express himself. Fans of the film have long praised the way Macfadyen's performance captured the subtlety and emotional complexity of Darcy's character arc. His delivery of the iconic line, "You must allow me to tell you how ardently I admire and love you," remains one of the most memorable moments in romantic cinema. Keira Knightley's perspective. Knightley has also spoken fondly of her experience working on Pride and Prejudice and her on-screen chemistry with Macfadyen. In a 2020 interview, Knightley recalled how Wright encouraged naturalism on set, allowing the actors to infuse their performances with spontaneity. "Joe wanted us to capture that feeling of falling in love for the first time, the nervousness, the excitement, the uncertainty," Knightley said. Matthew was so wonderful to work with because he really understood Darcy's vulnerability beneath the surface. Knightley also admitted that the misty field scene was particularly challenging due to the early morning cold. "It looks so beautiful and romantic on screen, but we were absolutely freezing," she laughed. But Matthew was such a pro. He just powered through it even though he couldn't see anything. A legacy that endures. Nearly 2 decades after its release, Pride and Prejudice remains one of the most popular and enduring adaptations of Jane Austen's work. Fans continue to revisit the film for its breathtaking cinematography, Marianelli's haunting score, and the undeniable chemistry between Knightley and Macfadyen. "It's funny because at the time, you're just focused on getting through the day and hoping that you don't mess it up," Macfadyen said. "You don't think about whether it's going to last or become this big thing. But it's lovely to know that people are still watching it and that it means so much to them." As the film's 20th anniversary approaches, there is renewed interest in the cast and production. Macfadyen's confession about his eyesight challenges during the famous long walk scene adds another layer of charm to the film's behind-the-scenes story, a reminder that even the most polished moments in cinema often stem from unexpected challenges. In the years since Pride and Prejudice, Macfadyen has built an impressive career across film and television. His performance in Succession as the cunning yet insecure Tom Wambsgans earned him both critical acclaim and a Primetime Emmy Award. However, for many fans he will always be remembered as Mr. Darcy, the man who walked through the morning mist to confess his love to Elizabeth Bennet.